Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And a good Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to the X-Man Show Tuesday. God, man, you look ridiculous right now.
Dude, listen, I have not gotten a lot of sleep. I'm still tired. Throat's a little sore. I think it's because of all the traveling. And, I'm going to Vegas this weekend for the home opener in Vegas. But real quick, we're going to bring Amanda on from the B-Hawk Live Show, Arlington, because we have some exciting news here in St. Louis that we're getting ready to do. So let me look at her. I don't know why she's sitting there acting all sourpuss and looking. But,
hey, Amanda! Hey, what's going on, girl?
Oh my God, I look terrible.
Join the club.
Tired.
Join the club.
Don't. Hey, how do I still have energy? I went to Houston and I went to San Antonio. Oh, my bad.
You had a 3-hour drive. You had a 3-hour
Y'all
drive.
had 14 hours.
Suck
drive.
it.
It was those high knees I was doing. All that running and high knees in that parking lot, people.
Oh God. It's hot here, man. Like, this is really hot in my room right now. So
Right. Amanda, you got big news for B-Hawk Live. So would you like to share?
Mm-hmm.
Can wait till tomorrow?
No, man, we got to plug it.
Don't worry about what we're doing.
We got a sponsor for this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and this show is sponsored by Chilla Packer. But go ahead, please.
So not tomorrow, what am I saying? You got me, A-Train, you got me all messed up. So, Thursday, come to Murphy's on 21, watch party, 7 o'clock, game starts at 8. We will all be there to watch the game.
Yeah!
It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah!
A mess. I have no makeup on.
Didn't have time to kind of throw yourself together.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We also might be joined by my co-host as well from the Rough 'Em Up podcast, Cullen Watkins, because we got a little bit to talk about with week 1. We're just going to touch a little bit on it. I'm not going to bring out a lot. But, hey, folks, what great week 1 did we have? Like, I can't even describe it. And shout out to the worldwide leader for putting together a program that's kind of correlates to what we have here. I love you for it. I love you guys for that. Thank you, worldwide leader. Thank you. It's amazing to me how they saw something, and it's going to be just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. I'm telling you now, it's going to be considered coincidental what they have presented and what you see right here in front of you right now. But thank you for that.
Really?
Everybody here.
You really just said that. Really?
I actually do.
Nice. I was going to be nice and not say anything.
Nope. I couldn't help it. But
yeah,
I got to get into it. Everybody knows what the game of the week was. You cannot say anything different. You can't say, And I love
the Dragons versus the Defenders, the hat I'm wearing today.
Stop
it right now. You stop it right now.
That was the game of the week. That was the game of the week.
No, but it wasn't the game of week 1.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
it was. Hands down.
No, it wasn't.
Game of week 1, hands down.
No.
The game of
You
week
know.
1. Yes, it was.
Trolling
We actually, the real game of the week 1 was actually the first game that me and Amanda went to, and with David Hurd was the Arlington Rent-A-Hawks versus the Vegas Vipers. That was the game of the week because that was the first game of the 2023 season. So let's get into that game.
Hey, yeah. Now let me ask you that. How was that experience? Like, the last time that you went to Arlington, I actually got a chance to go with you then in 2020. And this time, you, Amanda, and our good friend David got to go on this trip. And I know a couple of our couple of cronies that we've had in the XFL, they joined along as well. Hey, what was the experience like up in Choctaw Stadium?
Amanda, I'll let you go because I don't want to bash Arlington. It definitely was not like it was in 2020.
That's all I'm
gonna say.
What was that for you, Amanda?
Between a 1 and a 3, I'd have to give it a 1.5.
1 and a 3? So you're giving it about a 50 out of 100. That's what it sounds like.
About a 30.
Wait a minute. So what happened? Like, I want to know, like, what was that experience like? Because I got to give my Houston experience too.
I mean, there's no like the merch was like, okay, like it was like a little trailer for merch, right? For merchandise. It was like so small. And like the Brahmas game, it was like this huge wall, right?
Yeah, so it was funny because when we got into the Arlington Choctaw Stadium, which is it's really a nice stadium, and I still love the way that they had the configures. As you guys saw the picture that I posted, we were literally sitting right behind the field goal. We actually got to go, and a big shout out to Jace, to the Arlington Renegades for actually taking care of us, letting us down on the field and stuff like that. We were literally on the field, and we were literally 20 feet away from Danny Garcia. So like Amanda's like kind of freaking out, and they're like, "Hey, we'll let you guys on the field. Just be careful of who you take pictures with." Which we kind of figured we knew who they meant, and we were like, "Hey, cool. We just appreciate you guys taking care of us and putting us on the field." You know what I'm saying? So we thought that was really cool that Arlington really took care of us. So, and I know Amanda got some great pictures of the field and she had put them out there and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it was definitely from that experience, it was better. But from the tailgating experience, it definitely wasn't like it was in 2023 or in 2020. Now, Jimmy and them, they did a great job where they were. But like Arlington, the one lot where we saw the one fans where they were having me do shots with them, like that lot was empty. But like where Jimmy and them were, it was definitely exciting. Didn't compare to San Antonio though. Did it, Amanda?
No, not at all.
We'll get to that later in the show.
Yeah, we'll get that later in the show.
I will say though, I did meet Badette's girlfriend, and she's so sweet, so nice on the on-field experience. Yeah, she's so nice, so sweet. Yeah, I'm number 13's girlfriend. I was like, "Oh, do you want me to take your selfie for you?"
Wait, look who finally showed up.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Look who finally showed up.
Oh yeah, we'll talk to him. Well, actually, look who did show up because I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he just like woke up or something, but that hair, he's got to do something with that hair, Arlington.
My guest is on there. Is this my guest?
Listen, your co-host from your show's really he's got to really learn how to take care of himself. Oh, look at this. Look at this. And let's bring in Cullen from the Rough It Up podcast.
Hey,
Cullen.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So I'm glad you're on, Cullen. And you and I both got a chance to check out Roughnecks and Guardians.
Arlington, why don't you be quiet and let me ask Cullen the question you asked Amanda, and we gave our experience, and then I'll ask the question, and you two clowns can give your experience.
Hey, I guess you're the quarterback of this show then, right?
I gotta hijack this show and get it back on track.
Why do you gotta say clowns? Who's he
Exactly.
referring clowns to? You're an idiot.
Be quiet or you'll get muted, Amanda.
Oh,
So,
my God.
Colin, we're talking about the experiences of the 2023 tailgating in Houston. Like, how was it for you guys? You being at one of those games before, how was it for you guys? How was it for you?
It was a blast. I'm totally going to do it again. Of course, I got the season tickets, but while I didn't do any of the tailgating, whatever, I did get there right when the gates opened at 6, just to feel, the vibe and the energy and stuff. And I ended up getting the fan of the game, so I was able to go on the field, and, like, they interviewed me on the field and whatever. But that's besides the point. The actual game itself and the atmosphere of the stadium, it was amazing. I'm sure Arlington can say the same thing. Sure, there wasn't as many people there as there were in 2020, but for my first XFL game, it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Nothing but good things.
All right, Arlington. Now, Cullen had said that's his first XFL game. You had already been to a few, just like me and you had. And Amanda, was that your first XFL game, the Arlington game, or did you go to 2020 games?
Oh, I just went to Battlehawk 2020 games.
Okay,
I didn't go to any other game.
The first road game. Okay.
All right. Now, Arlington, with you, okay, for you, Arlington, how was it not going to a Battlehawks game and actually going to your new home state of the Houston game? Like, how was that experience for you to go there?
You know what? It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that. Is going to a entirely different area. The crowd was amazing. And I think the count was like 12,000, but it didn't feel like 12,000. It felt like it was 20. It was double that because of the noise. And I think one of the things you get to see in TDECU Stadium is everything was accessible. Like going to the lines weren't bad at all to get food, to get merchandise. The fan experience was great after the game. I'll have some pics. I forgot to post them, but I do have some of those where we got to go on the field, got to meet up with Nick Holly a bit, got to meet up with Cole McDonald was there, but he kind of ran past because he had to leave off. But I understood that. But it was, getting that fan experience. So I thank you to that. Hey, everyone, make sure that you send positive vibes up to the mayor. Just send some positive vibes up to the mayor today, okay?
Yeah.
Not coming well, so just make sure that
here we go. Dix's has the merchandise on their shop, on their sites today. To this May, it's the same as the XFL shop. Yep, we're hearing that. Leo says, how about that? Arlington and Dallas seems to appreciate the people that they are hyping them up on the streets. San Antonio needs to step up their game. Oh, okay, Leo taking some shots there. We're definitely going to talk about this with the defenders throwing the lemons at the fans. That's what happens when you take the beer snake away because of health concerns. Do you guys really want Rona to come back and close the XFL down from the Rona snake? No, throw lemons instead of the DC snake. Amanda, with it being your first. Now, let's go into the San Antonio because, Arlington, you showed up in San Antonio. I showed up in San Antonio. Colin, I know you couldn't make it. But, Amanda, being the Battlehawks fan and going to San Antonio, but what was that experience like? Let's get all this out, and then we'll go into the games.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, everybody was so welcoming. The tailgating experience was huge. I mean, the fan base is going to be extremely hard to compete with. That is for sure. I mean, everyone was like offering food and just so accommodating to us, asking us if we need anything. People like knew our show, which was even better. And it felt great to know also, by the way, that our show plays a huge part in the fact that they have a football team. That was nice to hear. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a very good experience. Very cool.
Woody wants to know if we got tacos from Viva. Oh, my God, the tacos were great.
They were dope.
But
they were good.
The best thing I got was from Leo's wife, whatever that concoction that she made. Oh, my God, that thing was not.
Was it a drink?
No, dude, it was some kind of food, and it was, ooh.
You posted a picture of it.
I posted a picture. It was like eggs and bacon. And, yeah, it was good. The tacos were great. So, now, Arlington, you showed up. You didn't show up for the tailgating, but you showed up.
No, I did not.
Tailgating. But in the arena, right? Like when you got there, what was that experience? Because I'll give you guys my experience, after I get Arlington's, or do you want me to go with my experience? Oh,
Hey, this is what I would say to that. Getting into the Alamo Dome. So listen, barbacoa is what's called.
It's called barbabaca.
Barbacoa.
Barbabaca.
Stop.
Anyway, let me tell you one thing about the Alamo Dome. The Alamo Dome is kind of weird to get into. So if you're coming from the outside, you have to go down and then come up to get to the dome. And so I'm like, it was already a crazy walk. Me and my lady Renee, hey, good morning. We're getting up there, but the thing is, when we got inside, the seats were right there.
Yeah.
Like when I say we were able to go to our seats immediately, that's fantastic. And we were right there right in the end zone, right at the HEB, where the big HEB sign is for the Alamo Dome. And so we got right there on the field, and it was crazy. You know, just being in there. I have to say this. It felt like being back at the Edward Jones Dome. Mm-hmm. Just the difference was the colors. Mm-hmm. It had that same feel. It had the atmosphere, the lines. The difference was the lines were actually moving. You know, the only problem was they were actually moving. So merchandise, I mean, they had a long setup.
2-hour wait to get merch.
It was crazy though.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. It was great to be there. Apparently yours truly, as you can see, was on the Jumbotron.
Still wearing the same shirt. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I decided to wear it because when people be like, "Oh, it was you!"
Yeah,
you.
I have to say, I actually might have another fan base that I'm actually totally in love with. There were times where I was almost brought to tears on Sunday by the Brahma fan base and the things that they were saying to us. To actually hear that our show has made a difference in another city, to help grow another fan base and to do all that. I mean, it was very, very humbling to me. And I mean, there was times where I was actually on my way of crying. So, I mean, I've adopted the Brahmas fan base as one of my favorite fan bases. I asked Amanda, I was violent that I couldn't buy merchandise because I didn't want to stand in line for 2 hours. You will be seeing this displayed in my show, on the show from now on. I will be putting this up. And as you guys have heard, I have said that the Brahmas logo might be one of my favorite logos. I have said that. So
I was even like, where's mine? I was so jealous. I was like, I want one because you guys were so amazing to us. So awesome.
It was, I mean, I still get goosebumps, Colin, when I think about it. Oh, there's Arlington and his little Houston flag.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it was very humbling to me. I still get goosebumps. I just have to say a very big thank you to the San Antonio fan base, which we'll talk more about that tomorrow on the B-Hawk Live. What is up, Marcos? And Marcos was a great host in Arlington when we met him. You know, he came up to us. He's like, oh, my God, it's you guys. And, you know, said, thank you guys for coming. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I know that people say people say that Texans are a bunch of douchebags. I have to kind of disagree. Texans are definitely very, 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 very hospitable people. Very, very loving and gracious people. So now let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. The XFL season kicked off. We had a big kickoff with the Vipers. Apparently, I won all of my picks. I got them all right.
He wish he did.
I got all my picks.
He wish
right.
he did. He wish he got his picks right. Hey, those that follow the X-Fan Show on Twitter and on Facebook, you know what the score is already. So don't even worry about that. Whatever he says is going to be moot at this point.
Yeah, Dirty's 4-0 and you're 0-4. But anyways,
it is a lie.
Beside the point. The Vegas Vipers and the Renegades kicked this off.
Yeah.
Now, Phil, you're nuts. You're nuts. I did not pick the Brahmas. I always
loud and clear. You picked the Brahmas.
My Battlehawks, and they pulled it out.
You went against the grain. You chose to do that. And you were emphatic about it. That's what he was calling. Let me tell you something, man. We did the picks. He was like, Browns are gonna win 435
Lies. The
to
lies you
17.
tell. The lies,
I
the
can just
lies
hear
you
it now.
tell. Leo, you're right. The
Everybody
lies
called
you
him out
tell.
on it. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody called him out on it. But I will say this: Renegades and Vipers did open up the season very well. You know, like that's one of those games where you're gonna sit back and like, it was really better than the first game in 2020 in Seattle and DC. That
Well,
game.
it
That
depends
game.
on
Now,
how
I'm not
you
talking
look at
about
it.
this one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It depends on how you look at it, though, because the Rinahawks did exactly what we thought they were going to do. And Amanda was getting irritated with me and Dave because we were calling the play calls for the Rinahawks before it happened. We were like, oh, there's a run. 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 Oh, now they're going to pass. So, I mean, I pulled it up. Ready?
Annoying is an understatement, but okay.
Yeah, you were annoying, Amanda. Yes, you were.
No.
No.
So, are you ready for this? The first 3 plays of the
Runs.
Renegades. Run, run, run.
Hey, listen. We knew this. I'm telling you, Colin, Amanda, we knew this going into the season that it was going to be a reminiscence of 2020, that they were going to do something similar to that. But the main thing is their defense. Now,
Oh, Jesus.
their defense stepped it up in the second half. Now, granted, in a way of speaking, the Renegades looked like the Battlehawks did on offense until the fourth quarter. You know, everything started happening. You know what I mean? Things started happening for them, and they wind up pulling out the 2-point victory. Now, what was even more funny, did you see? You couldn't see it, but Rod Woodson on the telecast was hot like fire. Hot. I mean, steaming red on one of the calls, and he was ready to blow a legitimate gasket on these refs. So if you go back and watch and that's the thing, folks, you can go back and watch on demand and watch these games. They're there.
Right, yeah.
And you can see he was.
Right. And it's funny because we watched all 4 games on the way home to kind of rewatch them again.
Yeah.
Well, you listened.
Well, yeah, I listened, and Amanda slept through most of the games.
I did not. Here we go. I knew this was going to happen.
But anyway, so let me break down the team stats for you, and let me get your guys' opinions. Total plays between the Vipers and the Renegades. So the number I say first is going to be the Vipers. The number I say second will be the Renegades. Total plays, 54 to 59. Passing yards, 261 to 246. Yards per play, 4.8 to 4.2. First downs, both even at 13. First down passing, 13 to 9. First down rushings, 0 to 3. First down penalties, 1. Third yard efficiency, 38.5 to 28.6. And then you had a fourth down efficiency, 0 to 25. Pass completions, 22 to 19.
What was Slaughter's numbers? I mean, excuse me, Drew Plitt's number. What was Drew Plitt's number?
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. So by those stats, if I was going to give you guys those stats, we know who the score is, right? But if I was going to give you guys those stats, which team would you say would win? A1?
Vipers.
You'd say the Vipers. All right, Colin, you?
I mean, they're pretty close, but personally, and I'd probably say Vipers too. I mean, but they were still pretty close, though. I feel like it could go either way.
Right. Amanda, by those numbers, which team would you have said won?
Vipers.
Okay. Well, we know the Vipers pulled it, or the Renegades pulled it out in the end. Drew Plitz's numbers, which here's what I thought was funny, and let me get you guys' opinion. Because remember who everybody said was going to be the starter was the assigned quarterback, Kyle Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
We found out he wasn't the starter. It was Drew Plitt, who went for 19 to 25, 172, no touchdowns, and an interception. Did that shock you guys that he was their starter? Because it shocked the hell out of me. Because that's what I said to Amanda. I'm like, what happened?
And I understand on the other side, Luis Perez being the starter. Because, in all honesty, he had a great game himself with 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks that was late in the game.
Well, he
that,
went 22-36 for 249.
And had 3 touchdowns. And so that would have been great. But those 2 picks is, like I said, that Renegades defense, they showed up and they were ready to go. And shout out to Jeff Bidet. It looks like Perez, could still be the starter at this point. Perez to Bidet, he got 2 touchdowns out of that one. So
I'm going to say this.
I was like, wow.
If it goes the way I think it's going to go, when Huntley learns that playbook, Huntley will be the quarterback, and that team is going to run that table. That team is going to run that table.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
I disagree. Because Perez has already got a rapport with the offense, and Huntley's just getting started.
That's why I'm saying when Huntley.
I know, but even when he gets together, Perez is still going to be ahead of him. And as long as Perez can keep making great throws and not making these late interceptions and stuff, he will be the starter. But then, like you said, if Huntley does start getting the fast track, learning the playbook, yeah, he will be that guy. But I don't think right now Perez is going to be that. Perez is going to be the guy right now at this stage, going into the week 2 game that they have, that first home game in Vegas. Perez will be the one that will be running out.
Well, he didn't look near as bad as some of the other quarterbacks. No point intended.
Who we throwing shade at, Amanda? Who we throwing shade at today?
It starts with an A, ends with a J.
Really?
So let's get to your guys' game 2. I agree. I mean, by stats, I think Vegas would have won that game. And I think because there wasn't a lot of preseason, not a lot of full contact that they were having with teams at practices and no scrimmage games, there was a little bit off that we saw, right? I'm still saying, as Leo says right here, I think Huntley will eventually be the guy not running the table. I'm just telling you, when Huntley learns that offense, it's going to be good.
Listen, if you look at all the games compared to that game in particular, what team ran the most?
I mean, the Renegades did.
Yeah. Don't play with me, Arlington.
Your guys' game. The Roughnecks versus the Defenders.
Hey, I'm leaving this one to Cullen. Give all the questions to Cullen, because I guarantee you he got all the answers. I guarantee you he does.
Oh, don't put that pressure on me.
Amanda had pulled up the stat as we were driving back. You guys do realize Houston was picked to be last, not to even come up too close to the championship. After what I watched Saturday, Jesus Christ, Houston might be the team to beat with a bunch no offense, Arlington, no offense, with a bunch of nobodies. Because there was not one person that really stuck out to anybody on Houston other than Brandon Silvers.
Let me say this one thing. Let me say this one thing.
Kirkland, don't play with me. Kirkland.
Yeah.
It was a team effort. That's all I gotta say there. It was an entirely team effort that we saw on Saturday night. Everything was clicking. Even though Silvers threw a couple of weird picks, it was clicking on all cylinders. From the front 4 to the secondary to the wideouts to the running backs, even to the quarterback. When you are able to have that type of complete game, granted it was one game, and you win by 21 points, that's a team win entirely. Everybody had something to do. So
was the most.
It was beautiful.
Well-coached team that we've seen up to even from 2020. I mean, Houston can claim they are the 6-0 team because they are the only team that has not lost. It
was like somebody took in a Rubik's Cube with all of those and went like this. And
and put it together real quick.
Yeah, look,
I mean, there
there are some bright spots for Orlando. Paxton Lynch went for 15-21, 136, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Quentin Dormady, 12 for 18, 142, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. I mean, that's really about the only bright side I can say for him. But I mean, Jesus, let's go over to Houston. I mean, look, the score, it's kind of lopsided. Like when you look at it, total plays 62 for the defenders, 65 for the Roughnecks, 314 in total yards for the defenders, 337, 5.1 to 5.2, 14 first downs to 16 first downs, 9 first down touchdown passes, or 9 first down passes to 12 touchdown passes. Now, they did have more rushing touchdowns with 5 to 3. Third downs were exactly the same, but Houston's fourth downs. But here's where it really got big. The defense.
Folks, I promise you, when you hear the Rough 'Em Up podcast, anything that Dirty said, you will not hear. I guarantee you that flat out. Because I mean, everything he reading off is just like, come on, man, just hurry up and say it. Say the stuff. Come on, man.
So I'm going to go to it. I'm going to go to Houston's. I mean,
Kirkland had a great game too, though. I must say that dude played with Justin Jefferson and was working. I'm a Minnesota Viking fan.
Look, you can talk all. I mean, people can talk all the trash we want about Brandon Silvers, but 26 of 42 for 272.
Houston. Oh, let me answer Brian's question. They got the Rent-A-Hawks this week.
And look, no offense, they're going to run them right over. They're going to run them right over.
I hope so.
Oh no, man. We hope.
I don't think. I mean, look, the passing. Terrell Harris, 5 for 48 with 48, right? Jonte Kirkland, 5 for 71 with a touchdown. Look, this was a team that, I mean, right here, Burnett, 8 receptions, 90 yards with a touchdown. Longest was 46 yards. I mean, in my opinion, right now, if you had to ask me, I'm saying Houston is the team to beat. They are the most well-oiled machine, no pun intended, because that's what their uniforms looking like. Uniforms, but they're a great team, and they're coached well. Colin? I mean, am I saying anything wrong here?
You're spitting facts. We are the team to beat. What we saw Saturday, especially with Brandon Silvers, I was made fun of so much over the offseason hyping up Brandon Silvers because everyone thought that they were going to see the Seattle Dragons 2020 Brandon Silvers. But no, I knew that it's been 3 years since we last really saw him in a professional football setting. I saw him in the spring league. I was really impressed. And what we saw Saturday, there's no reason as of right now to look at Cole McDonald to start. Keep with Brandon Silvers. He impressed me enough. We got to keep going at Brandon Silvers. Our wide receivers did a fantastic job. And, the defense.
They got to the quarterback.
Beautiful.
4 sacks. 4 sacks. They had 4 sacks in that. And, I mean, yeah, I'm glad you actually said that because that was the one thing I was the most impressed with. And Phil brings up the point. I don't know if Houston is good as they look. I think Orlando was that bad and unprepared. I would say it's a little bit of both. It was that defense. You
got to understand, Wade Phillips comes prepared. Wade Phillips comes prepared for action. And if the offense wasn't clicking, that defense was damn sure going to click. Go ahead, Colin.
And two, that is a good point. Sure, Orlando may not be the best team in the league, but Houston would have beat any other team in week 1. Any other team that played, they would have beat. Yep. I can say that.
I agree with that.
They had 7 sacks. 7 sacks. And Trent Harris.
Yep, 4 sacks.
Had 4 of them. 4 of them. Their defense, if you look at this, their defense is probably the best defense in the XFL. And like the good doctor says right here, Wade Phillips is the best. In what you saw by defensive stats, they were the most prepared team. And, I mean, Look, I mean, right here it says, Phillips says, as a Cowboys fan, I am fully acquainted with Wade Phillips. Don't fall in love with him as your head coach. I mean, look, maybe he's not NFL head coach because there are some guys that are not. Prime example, Nick Saban was not a great NFL head coach, but he's
He
a
was
great
decent.
college.
He was decent,
A
but
losing record. Lane Kiffin was not a great NFL head coach, but he's a great college coach. So, little, the good doctor, a Cowboy fan. I'm sorry. But look, I got to say this. The defense for I don't think we saw a defense like that in 2020. There was not a defense this dominant in 2020 that I can remember.
no, probably not.
Right?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
But at least on an opening weekend, it wasn't like that. But you got the Houston Roughnecks and we had the Orlando Guardians. But what about that third game though? The third game that we attended.
That's the game we're going to talk about. I mean,
We attended till the last 3 minutes of the game. Don't play with me.
Reveal the truth, or do we? Do we reveal the truth, or do we just act like nothing happened?
Battlehawks. Just all I can say is this: thank you. You should thank me and Amanda that we left the game a little bit early. We watched it as we left the stadium because if we would have stayed, the Battlehawks would have lost. Plain and simple, the Battlehawks would have lost. So I'm gonna say it right now for you guys right now. If the Battlehawks are ever losing in a game and that I'm live at, I will leave the stadium, sit in the parking lot, and watch it on my phone.
Me too.
Right.
You're
I'm
welcome.
just telling you guys that now. You're welcome. But no, I want to get back to the Houston game.
Okay.
They're playing the Renegades next week.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Stoops, great college coach. But the way that defense played, they are going to eat that run up, that run, stop. I mean, Trent Harris could not be stopped. He was hitting, just boom, chasing,
Quarterback, yeah, every time.
Quarterback. He chased both of them around constantly. He chased Paxton Lynch around. He chased Quentin around. I don't think Pruitt is going to be able to handle that.
Well, it's going to definitely need offensive line play from the Renegades to make this work, of course, and they got some time to do it. But anything can happen in this league. Crazy things can happen. But I'm going to be in the house Sunday for that game. I can't wait to see it because it'll be my first look at the Arlington team, and I know it'll be Cullen's first look at them as well. And so one of the things that we're going to take from this on the Rough 'Em Up podcast is seeing what the matchups is going to look like on the offensive and defensive end.
You're right. Now, speaking of anything can happen, the good doctor says he's breaking down. I'm breaking down the Battlehawks. I hope you can actually do it good and not do it. Their Achilles heels, and this isn't just the Battlehawks' Achilles heels. This is everybody's Achilles heels.
Every team
is the offensive lines. Marco says A-Train. He'll see you there. And when anything can happen in the XFL, it shows you anything can happen by this game right here. Mm-hmm. Right here, what happened. I'm just going to go right to the stats. Okay? Team stats. Remember, the first number I read is going to be the Battlehawks. Second number I read is going to be the Brahmas. 46-77 total plays. 235 total yards to 324. 5.1 to 4.2 yards per carry. 11 touchdowns to 24 first downs. First downs, not touchdowns. 8 to 12 first down passing attempts. 2 to 11 first down rushing attempts. 1 to 1 in first down penalties. Third down efficiency, 30 to 56. Fourth down efficiency, 50 to 100. Pass completions, 18 to 25. Attempts, 26 to 36. Passes intercepted, 1. Yards per pass, 9.3 to 7.6. Passing touchdowns, 2 to 1. Sacks, 23 to 16 yards lost. Rushing attempts, 15 to 39.
All
Yards.
right.
If I tell you those numbers, we know who wins.
It was the other side. I'm looking at the
those numbers. Who wins? Brahmas or the
Brahmas.
Battlehawks?
I'm looking at with that one, man.
Clearly,
The
Brahmas.
Yeah.
We're looking at the Brahmas.
Hines Ward, I want to give. I'm not a head coach or anything like that. Don't claim to be. But don't pull your entire starting defense out with a minute and a half left and put in all of
They
your
thought they had the game in the bag, yo.
He put his prevent defense in at that point, and I just remember looking at his face, was like.
But look, this was the thing. Did y'all see Hines Ward's face when it was 15 to 3 with about a minute and a half to get? It was a big smile, big grin, cheese and grin.
Now listen.
When the game ended, did you see the grim look on his face? Like he thought somebody stole stuff out of his home.
They stole his candy out of his stocking at Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Hey, let me say this. I have to, because shout out to AJ McCarron for going through the adversity at this point, with a minute and a half left. This is the sequence. You get a touchdown, 3-point conversion, not 2 or 1, a 3-point conversion with a window that was about that small of a window. Then you convert a 4th and 15. If it wasn't for a roughing the passer play, after that, I think it would have stayed at 15 to 12. But a roughing the passer call, and then you throw a dart to Austin Pro. Austin Pro scored 9 points in that fourth quarter alone.
All this was done in like a minute and 30 seconds.
Right.
And that's just ridiculous.
It shows. And I think this is where it threw a lot of people off. Or at least we've watched the XFL, so we've seen that kind of stuff happen before in the 2020 season, right? Yeah, exactly. This is what it is right here, what Viva Texas just says. I think that the Brahmas were finishing the game with the NFL mentality, not an XFL mentality, which makes the difference with these new rules. And you're absolutely right. From the scoring of the points, then going to the extra points, and then electing not to do the kickoff and not to do the onside kick, but do a 4th and 15. That's the biggest thing right there. And no, the wave did not help you guys lose the game. It was pulling your starters and putting a prevent defense. And like Texas said, having a XFL mind mentality or an NFL mentality. That's what it did. I will say this, up until the third quarter or the fourth quarter, the Battlehawks, this is how good, and people in San Antonio should not be upset with this team because of the way they played. And you guys tell me if I'm wrong here or not. They only allowed 63 total yards for the Battlehawks for 14 minutes. For the entire 3 quarters and 14 minutes of the last quarter. 61 total yards. That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
It's just...
They have nothing except you just got to remember, like what Viva said, you got to play a full 60. You didn't. And when you chose, and I know Hines Ward is going to look back and say, I will never do that one again. Because I think even he looked at it that way.
Andrew, no, Brian Hill was not gone most of the game.
He had that big 40-yard scamper. But I want to get Colin's thoughts on the game because he watched it, even though we were there. I want to see because he actually got to see it. We saw it afterwards. I want to know why you seeing it. What was your thoughts then?
Yeah, well, the first 3 quarters, I'm going to be real honest. It was a pretty boring game to watch.
I know that's right.
Yeah, it was. I was not into it. Of course I was watching, but it wasn't entertaining, especially just coming back from the Roughnecks game earlier in the day, like the day before. But that fourth quarter, though, was so fun to watch, being sort of a neutral fan and being able to watch that comeback. Honestly, I think that's my favorite game of the weekend besides the fact that the Roughnecks won. Like, purely just watching wise and just on TV, seeing that comeback. Yeah, that was probably my favorite game to watch. It was so entertaining at the end. A comeback like that It shows off the XFL's new rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for the league. It's great for the players. It's great for the team. I think that moment right there helped the league as a whole because, all of a sudden ESPN can now post, bam, about that comeback, about those new rules. It really helped out the league a lot.
Yeah, and the thing, I mean, and again, like I said, we rewatched all the games on the way home. And we're watching the Battlehawk and the Brahmas game, and we're like, oh, my God. This was just as bad watching it live than it was rewatching it. The only thing that made it so great was just that atmosphere of the Brahmas. I mean, we were in 2020. We were at the first Dome game. It was loud. But Arlington, you were there for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Which game was louder?
Oh my gosh, I can't even say it, dude. No, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this on the show today. You can.
Look, I'll say it, and I don't care. Give me the hate all you want. But 24,000 people were louder in their dome
than 29,000.
With 29,000. I mean,
I don't know, man. But look, this is what it's stating. It's stating to everybody, and we gotta let Cullen go because Cullen got to make sure we got some more stuff, more XFL stuff. So, Cullen, thanks, man, for hopping on with us today. Okay.
Hey, thank y'all.
Cullen, right. Plug the show. Plug the podcast. Plug the podcast for you.
Rough 'em Up podcast. All Houston Roughnecks podcast. Me and A-Train filming our second show in a few 30, 40 minutes about. So, but hey, thank you for having me.
You just kicked it. Why'd you just kick your co-host?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
What
Again, Rough 'em Up podcast on YouTube. Me and A-Train on there. Highlights, analysis, all that good stuff. We're going to be covering the week 1 dominating win. So I'm excited.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you all.
See you, Colin.
Bye.
Make sure you guys
go Watkins, ladies and gentlemen.
Podcast. But I mean, listen, guys. I mean, it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. It was the roller coasters of like what you want to see. Like, I'm a defensive guy, but then I'm also that high scoring offense guy, right? I mean, it was a good game. Being there live. I mean, the wave alone. I know that the people in San Antonio are pissed about that wave.
Man, did you see after the game was over, right?
Dude, but it literally started at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The beginning of the fourth quarter, the wave started and didn't stop until that touchdown was scored. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was amazing. We were just like, me and Amanda were sitting there going, why are they keep doing it? Why are they keep doing it?
And they kept right on going, man.
It kept going, and it just kept going. It kept going. I mean, that game there, like Colin said, that game there, the Brahmas and the Battlehawk games, literally showed exactly everything that is right about the XFL. What is right about the rules. Why we wanted to see those rules, because you never know what's going to happen. That's what I liked about it. But I mean, listen, the people in San Antonio, I don't think they have anything to worry. I think Hines Ward will adjust to that. But if you're in St. Louis, we got a lot to worry about. And I'll break that down more on tomorrow's show.
But listen, shout out to seriously the XFL though for when they do the challenges and replays and all that, and hearing back why they're making the decision they're making. That is awesome. I really like that.
Shout out to Blandino, man.
And then the 1 foot in, everyone kept forgetting. Like, keeping 1 foot in bounds, that is huge. That is a big deal. That makes a huge difference.
Here, I'll give you the stat. The only reason why you didn't really throw a touchdown is because you were only throwing 2 and 3 yard passes. It's the only reason why he didn't throw a touchdown. He had one pass that was caught for like 7 yards, and then they busted out a 33-yard yak after a yak. Yeah. That's the only reason. Like, don't get me wrong, and you're right. Andrew just said right here, the Battlehawks defense needs some credit because the score could have been a lot worse. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Travis Keeney.
Yes, the one thing that the Battlehawks do have, that we have a good defense. But then again, I look at it.
No need help.
Oh yeah, every O line on every team needs help. But I look at this again, and it really didn't start getting lopsided with the running and the passing until Feeney went out of the game. That's when it really kind of changed with everything for their defense. I mean, Lakeem Williams balled out, right?
Oh, he was turned up. Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
I mean, Chris Cooper had seven tackles. DeLuca had, he had 5 with 3 assists, or I mean, so the defense I'm not really worried about as much. That offense is what I'm worried about.
So if you go back and watch the game, JJ, if I'm looking at the offense right in front of me, JJ is on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
The right side is where I always saw coming through. Always.
Yeah.
If you watched the game back, the right side always was coming through. So shout out to my man JJ for doing a great job on that O-line. But seriously, I mean, I still can't believe it.
Just the sequence alone, man, is what is like was stated before. That sequence is what the XFL is all about. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful to see that it was the Battlehawks that did it. Also, the Battlehawks were the only road team to win in the XFL Week 1.
Don't count them out, people. Like I said, do not count them out. Do not. I know that was terrible, but don't count them out.
Here's the other big thing about the Houston.
Oh, that one call. We'll talk about that on the Rough 'em Up podcast too.
Right. Well, I'm going to bring it up. Brett up here says.
I'd rather choose Mike Pereira over
replay guy
over Blandino.
It was obviously an NIT.
That's dude.
Look, you can lean one way or another.
At least he said why he thought. Because everybody, if you go back if you watch the XFL today, Blandino explained why he believed that it was a touchdown, even though everybody in the room said interception.
Yes,
everybody in the room said interception.
Yes,
but there was not enough evidence to overturn the call. Mm-hmm. There wasn't enough evidence.
Right now,
can I just say one last thing?
Yeah.
The only thing with the Battlehawks too that I noticed was, AJ was holding on to that ball way too long. When you see Danucci literally had that ball out of his hands like that. I mean, he literally pulled a Patrick Mahomes when he did that underpass like this and did that TD. I said,
oh. Hold on, Brett. Hold on. I love this. Brett's going, Arlington, you're acting like a child. It was obvious. We are all agreeing with you saying it wasn't NIT, but
it was an INT. Right. It was an interception, but it was not enough.
Why he didn't think, because he couldn't actually see who had more control of the ball. I agree. Everybody agrees that it was a
interception. It was an interception. It's just that the problem was there was not enough evidence to overturn the play. Because the initial call was a touchdown.
AJ, I agree with this because I started counting it. AJ McCarron was holding on to the ball for about his average snap time before he threw the pass was between 4 to 5 seconds of holding the ball.
Hey, listen, if you have a decent offensive line holding the ball for that long,
was it for Danucci?
No, Danucci was like a second and a half.
Because June Jones has that type of offense where he wants to get it out quick.
It's funny that you say that. Possibly the most exciting game where it was just boom, 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 right? I don't have my phone. Oh, yeah, here it is. I need to check a text. Let's check a text real quick. Oh, shite.
But he also threw the ball a lot more than we did in our game as well. We ran the ball a lot more than they did in the Sea Dragons game.
The offensive line gave nobody. Listen, I'll talk about it more on tomorrow's show. This is the entire league. I'll give AJ a lot of credit for sticking in there.
Oh, for sure.
And you're right. That's why he wasn't holding. That's why he was holding on to the ball too long, because the routes were not being ran effectively.
Right.
But here's the main thing also with that game is that when the ball was delivered to them, they were catching it. When it was on target, they were getting them. And that's why I told you from the beginning, when they were doing the draft. Beck wants hands and blockers. That was what he wanted from his receivers. He wanted them to have good hands and good blocking. Okay, we understand the blocking is not there quite yet because they're just starting the season. But my thing is he wants hands, guys. And so that's what he got. That's what you got with Austin Pro, because that window, I cannot stress that enough. When that window was that small and Austin Pro was able to catch the 3-point, the 3-pointer, and then the go-ahead score.
Right.
He got that's what Beck wanted. And so that's what helped them propel themselves to that. And not to mention the 4th and 15 conversion. Hands is what he was looking for.
Prohl was on ESPN radio this morning, and I listened to him in an interview. And he was talking about basically how AJ has been a huge supporter of all of them and just saying, listen, play by play, people. Just take it one thing at a time, and which is great. So I think that he's got a great relationship with them too.
Right, and like I said, I mean, we'll break it down more. And again, this is what we heard after rewatching the shows. I mean, I've already rewatched all 4 games at least twice, and all I kept hearing was they didn't have a preseason. Most teams didn't do full pad practice, right? They only did half scrimmages and stuff like that. So of course there's going to be a lot of stuff. And if like right here, like the good doctor says, if your receivers aren't running your routes effectively, then the quarterback's got to hold on to the ball more. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make a point. Sorry. Didn't mean to step on any toes, people.
I agree with this. He's the most experienced in the league because of where the shots that he has gotten. And I think as the weeks go on, all these teams are going to get better.
Listen, good doctor. I'm not speaking bad about AJ at all. I like the dude. I do. I'm just making the observation that I saw. That's it.
Right. Make that observation.
I'm just going by what I saw.
Yeah, and this was the coolest thing too, is seeing Ricky Pro hugging his son after that touchdown. Hey, did I not say that we could see something like that happen in the XFL, seeing McCarron throwing a game-winning touchdown pass to Austin Pro? So I'm like, come on. Except it happened in San Antonio.
Right. Now, let's get to it. I know we're getting ready to have another guest come on for our last few minutes of the show.
All right.
But I think as the weeks go on, this football is even going to get better.
Yeah.
It's going to get more exciting. Like, I honestly think we actually finally might get to see our shootouts that we want to see. And ladies and gentlemen, in him and all of his glory, he looks really pissed off at us right now. So I don't know what we might have did to piss.
I know. I think I know what it is, but bring him on.
All right, Amanda, are you sure? Because Amanda, I think you might have made him mad.
Who?
I don't know, but here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the mayor of the XFL.
Yeah, I left the cardiac care unit at Valley Medical Center in Renton, Washington to come chew you guys the butts out.
No, because we didn't talk about his team at all. That's the reason why.
The last team to play.
Hey, I talked about Danucci. Don't get mad at me.
That's the reason.
No. We need, as the XFL fan nation, we need to be on Audi Field's ass, Levi Restaurant's ass, because I literally was pelted with hot lemons at Audi Field on Sunday. Okay?
Well, they shouldn't have taken away the beer snake.
But it's what they did was so stupid. Okay, so they took away the beer snake, and this is all Audi Field security, by the way. This is not the XFL. This is not XFL security. This is not XFL game day. This is all Audi Field and their security contractor. Okay? So they take away the beer snake, and then it grows again. They take it away again, and so they cut off beer sales in cups, right? So the fans go, hey, I'm thirsty. I got to drink something. So they go get a lemonade. Each lemonade is in the same cup that the beer was in, but it contains a half of a jumbo lemon. Okay? So what's any enterprising DC Defenders fan going to do? They're going to stack the cups, but they got this flipping lemon in their way. So what do you do with the lemon? You give it back to the security guards. It was right in front of us in the field seats on the Sea Dragons bench. The field actually turned yellow. Haley Lynch, the social media manager for the Sea Dragons, was out there like you were playing dodgeball at grade school and everybody had a dodgeball thrown at her. The poor girl was getting just thrown at constantly. And then the lemonade. I tried to drink the lemonade, and the cups of lemonade, I don't know if you've seen any of the videos or not, but it looked like a white shower of lemonade coming out of that entire north end zone. It was crazy. So everybody needs to get on Audi Field, event security, and Levi Restaurants and bring back the beer snake. Don't blame the XFL. We are the Extra Fun League. Go after these buttheads in DC.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the description that Van is so as telling the story. That's a wild thing, man. And he was there. So just let you know that X-Man show was at all four games.
We were at all four. We covered all 4 games this week. We were literally at all 4 games. The reason why I'm crying so hard is we're on our way home. We're watching. That's actually the game we're watching. Is it not, Amanda? We were watching the Sea Dragons and the Defender, and the mayor calls to check on us to see where he's at, right? And it's like, so, dude, he starts telling, he's like, I smell like God blessed lemonade. It's just disgusting. These bastards I'm just being pelted.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, Mayor, wasn't that crazy? Was it really that? I mean,
I'm serious. At when the game ended, they threw so much lemonade that it looked like a white cloud and engulfed that entire north end zone. Seriously, they threw that much at the end. And
let's talk about that.
As a football fan, final play, less than a minute to go. You gotta love that kind of action. Even though my primary team is the Sea Dragons, I support all 8 teams.
Right.
As I tell everybody, okay? You know, I sat with that goofy guy in that maroon shirt for 3 hours in Houston. I don't know if you guys told the world about that. I had originally scheduled to go meet Dirty and Amanda in Arlington for game 1. And Delta Airlines decided to strand me in Minneapolis on the way down Saturday. I'm a solutions-based guy, so I called Arlington and I said, "Hey, Arlington, you're using my seats in Houston. You used them all up?" And he goes, "Yeah, I gave them away." And I said, "Pick me up at the airport. I'm coming anyway, dude." So I rerouted myself through Atlanta. And Arlington had to put up with me for 3 hours.
No, he was great. No, Van was great. No,
well, I will be putting up with the mayor, and then Mayor, you'll be putting up with me. Arlington's much funner to hang out with, but you'll be putting up with me in Vegas because we're going to the home opener in Vegas.
That's the thing we left out. We were clowning during that game. So.
Right.
Mayor, I have to come because you're making me laugh so hard. I'm like in tears over here.
Mayor, your team was winning. Your team was kicking ass the entire game. You guys were playing great. DiNucci was on fire. I mean, led the league in touchdowns or in passing yards this week with 282.
Hey, you want to meet a personality? You need to meet Jay DiNucci.
Oh, okay.
I had 30 of Ben's family, including his dad, Jay, with me. They met up with me at Walters, D.C., a sports bar not far from the stadium. Talk about a guy with a personality that you need on the show. You need Papa DiNucci on the show.
We need to reach out to Papa DiNucci.
for tomorrow.
I have contact information. I have contact information.
Oh, never mind. But Mayor, it seemed like as soon as they took away the beer snake, Seattle fell apart because they got scared.
Yeah.
Well,
Would
you
you
know,
agree?
so if you're concentrating on football, you can concentrate on football, okay?
Mhm.
Or if you're
Right.
concentrating on getting assaulted with golf ball hard, half jumbo lemons, which way are you going?
Well, are you gonna blame? Are you gonna blame?
I'm not blaming. I'm stating
That
fact.
assaulted.
I'm
Like,
stating
listen, hold
fact.
on, Mayor, hold on. Don't make me mute you. Are you going to blame your loss for your Sea Dragons like the Brahma fans did on the wave? That for the 10-minute wave that they did. Is that
No,
what you?
no, I blame our loss on 2 interceptions by Ben DiNucci. He
Okay,
was
there you go.
in that quick throwing motion he had. When he
Mhm.
didn't do the quick throwing motion, he stared down his receivers.
Yes, he did.
Everybody there could see it. I've had fans in Germany reach out to me and say they could see him staring down the receivers during the interceptions.
I mean, but listen, Parsons, 12 for 95 yards. That's a great game. Josh Gordon, 6 receptions for 42, 74 with a touchdown. That's a good game. I mean, Seattle, in my opinion, might be, even though they lost it there at the end, because I think, like you said, with the Lemons, because the Lemons started assaulting them. I mean, Seattle's a really good team.
I think we're legitimately the number 5 team. I will say that the 4 teams that won should be top ranked after week 1.
Okay.
That's just fair. But I think that we are number 5. And A Train, I was going to come on with you and kind of co-host the show on Thursday. I understand that Dirty's got a work assignment that he has to deal with, so he won't be on Thursday. But I'd like to go further into depth about all the gameplay and then kind of do a preload for Thursday night's game. By the way, it's scheduled to be 18 degrees Fahrenheit at game time in Lumen Field on Thursday. We will see how your Dome Hounds that went and played their first game in the Alamo Dome do well in cold weather. Whereas the Sea Dragons not only had a little cooler weather to deal with, they also had to deal with some precipitation of more of a citrus side.
So, Mayor,
I'm
we
looking
were
forward
asking
to it.
everybody. We all gave our experiences for being at the tailgates and stuff like that, right? Now I know that you were running late for Seattle or for the Houston game, so you guys got there right around the game. But in DC, I know DC kind of has a different type of tailgating experience. Like
Pause.
Oh,
Pause. We were on time for that game. Thank you very much. We don't get late to games. Thank you.
oh, you were on time. Oh,
We made it right before kickoff. Thank you.
Oh, did you get the tailgate any at Houston?
We trying to find pocket.
Okay, wait. So I have VIP parking 50 feet from the gate. I wanted to see the game. So I told this man how to learn the difference between green and red LEDs in a parking garage.
Yo.
And he took me right to my assigned spot and we walked straight in.
Sure did.
There you
Sure
go.
did.
So
That's
now,
why we weren't late.
Right. What was it like in DC? Because I know you were there before the game and all that. What is their tailgating atmosphere like in DC?
Against the law, just like beer snakes.
Yeah, now it is, right?
No, I'm saying they prohibit tailgating. They prohibit it.
Don't they have like a special area where they have like big stuff at?
It's called the Sports Bar District up by Nationals Park. Everybody congregates at Walters, DC. It's a sports bar that I went to in 2020. I met some of the senior VPs from the XFL. They were having lunch when I got there. Got off my plane and went straight to Walters, and they were there having some lunch. And then, of course, they took off and went down to the stadium and just did their stuff. But, probably 3 hours before game time, Walters packed out onto the street, It's a great sports bar, and that's where people are congregating. However, this is a little thing I'm going to leak out here. One of the people at Walters with me was a tailgating partner for the league. They are looking to create sponsored tailgates in all the cities to get the fan hype up early. So, I don't know if it'll be this week, next week, or the third week, or when, but they actually have a professional tailgate catering company that they're working with to try to secure facilities in all the cities, but especially Seattle and DC, where tailgating is frowned upon by the local governments, to get an experience going.
Interesting. That should be fun. All right, let's break this game down because we're in overtime. Mayor's got some things he's got to get done. This was actually the only team where they had one head coach that had a little bit experience as a head coach compared to a guy who had a lot of experience as a head coach and won. Barlow is the only inexperienced head coach, is like a lot of people like to say, that actually won their game against an experienced head coach.
No, he was with an HBCU as a head coach, was he not?
Yes.
I'm talking like pro when they're
someone the professional,
but yeah, he's not never talking about the HBCs. I'm talking about college. I'm talking pro level type, NFL type stuff, right? Look, I was a little worried about the defenders with Barlow, but after what I watched and the way that they played and the way that he managed the clock and everything, and then and again, Tamu, 86 yards.
He played the first half, and then
first half.
Derek King did second.
Derek King did, but Derek King did a lot more rushing than Jordan did, and they really turned on their running game. And that's, but look, Seattle literally 75 total yard plays, 331 total yards, 4.4 total yards for Seattle, 20 first downs, 17 first down passing yards, 3 first down rushings. Their third down efficiency 37.5, fourth down 66, pass completions 36 to 56. DiNucci's 2 interceptions that kind of hurt him, 7.8 yards per pass. I mean, offensively, they were just on fire.
And I didn't hear one stat that you did not mention.
Which one?
How many fourth downs did we go for and make?
66.7.
So 2 out of 3 times you got a fourth down conversion.
Yeah, we're all throttle, no brake.
No.
Yeah.
All throttle, no brake.
So after watching the game, Mayor, and seeing what had happened, and then after the beer snake kind of took over, right? How do you think? Because and like Amanda said, DiNucci got the ball up the quickest of everybody. Okay, it seemed like they were the only team that didn't really have a problem with an offensive line, where the majority of the teams did. I mean, do you think another game or two and these guys will really start clicking? Like with Gordon and DiNucci. Do you think it's another game or two and these guys really start clicking?
I got to tell you, not only watching warm-ups, but watching game, it's not zero. It's not a zero game. You need to also be looking at 4 and 3. Three's jersey number 3 and jersey number 4. 3 balled out, had some good catches. He should be showing up on your stat sheet. And 4 is the guy right behind him and Josh Gordon. I'm telling you, there is June Jones, Randy Mueller, Jim Haslett. They loaded up on receivers.
Yeah, you're talking about Parsons. You're talking about Parsons, Green, and then Gordon. Josh Gordon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All these guys, they're, you watch Josh Gordon. He's Spider-Man. A ball gets close to him, and now those arms reach out, and they just grab onto it with that web. I think he's got these other 2 gentlemen under his wing, and they were all doing just absolutely circus catches, both
Mm-hmm.
in warm up and game time. So I'm thinking, get the right cleats figured out. Everybody, that was their first game. And I noticed that both teams were having trouble with the turf in Audi.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll make adjustments for it as the teams get used to the different turfs and the different field conditions. But I'm telling you, do not if you're a fantasy player, do not sleep on any of the Seattle receivers.
So
You're
Phil
going to
says,
be missing points.
right, yeah, I love this. Phil says we don't need a catering company to come to San Antonio to teach us how to tailgate. I love that. I don't think they're gonna have a real problem with that in San Antonio the way they turned out. Which me and Amanda will talk more about that tomorrow. I definitely love this from Robert. New league, new teams, offenses always take longer to sync. I agree. And actually, Mayor, since we know you got to go, and I'm not going to be on Thursday's show, but I'm going to give my picks today. We're going to let you give your picks for these 4 games. You have the Seahawks or you have the Battlehawks versus the Sea Dragons. Who do you got?
Well, let's hyper it a bit then, and we'll go Seahawks win. Have three Dragons and have Battlehawks.
All
No,
right,
I'm gonna give Battlehawks a 50-50 season after Thursday night. I do think that the loudness that is going to come from however many people show up in the 18-degree temperature, by the way, 18 degrees at game time in Seattle, will dominate the ability for the Battlehawks offense to operate. You will see more false starts in that game than you've seen in any of the games so far. So I do give that to Sea Dragons.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you're going to be, me and you are going to be at the Vegas game because I'm meeting you in Vegas for the DC Defenders and the Vipers. Who do you have there?
I'm thinking Defenders get their first loss also.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to the Vipers in their home stadium. I think they balled out and they were right on top of almost winning in week 1.
Yep,
so
I agree.
We go there. So
right.
I'm there. So we're going to have a whole bunch of 50-50 teams after that. So who's next?
We have the Brahmas versus the Guardians on Sunday.
Somebody's gonna go to 0-2.
I'm thinking more. I'm going to go with the Yellow Bellies are going to have the comeback win. Yeah.
And Phil's saying Mayor's acting like the Beehawks didn't play in a loud stadium. I mean, it was loud in that Alamo Dome. But.
You do got to understand the actual physical architecture of Lumen Field. It's designed specifically to center the sound waves like a set of cupped hands on the center line of the field from one goalpost to the other goalpost.
Right.
It's a completely different environment, and it's based off the actual architecture of the building.
Now, the last game of the weekend is the game that will kind of say who is in first place and the better player of the Texas Triangle, because you have the Roughnecks and the Renahawks playing.
Why do you call it that?
Because
So
the majority of the players on the Renegades are former Battlehawks.
Yeah. So based on what happened today, we might have to go see that one in person and watch the Roughnecks win.
Oh, he's saying the Roughnecks to win that game. All right, Mayor. Thank you for joining us. I will see you Saturday.
Long live the snake. Long live the snake.
All right, Mayor. Talk to you.
Bye, Mayor.
All right, guys. Well, so here we go because, Amanda.
You got to get your picks, man, since you won't be here Thursday.
I know, Amanda. We'll get your picks on Wednesday night show. Listen, I'm kind of going with the Mayor on all that. I've got to say the Sea Dragons are definitely going to beat the Battlehawks because you guys have heard me. Like Viva Texas says here that Lumen Field is the loudest stadium I've ever been to. It is louder than the Alamo Dome. And he said it's exactly because of the architecture. I can't wait to finally see go to Seattle. I want to go to a Seattle Sea Dragon game. Just don't know when it's going to be, but I definitely want to go to one. I'm definitely going to say the Vipers. The defenders looked good. They look like they might be the second best team in the North. But I mean, I know the mayor's going to kill me on this, but I'm going to disagree because I don't think the Battlehawks should have been ranked in the top 4, even though they won. I think that the Sea Dragons should have been ranked above the Battlehawks in the rankings. And again, the Brahmas, I think the Brahmas should have been ranked higher because they outperformed the Battlehawks in an all-around game. But that's beside the point. You always got to take the team that wins. I'm going to say the Vipers are going to win their home opener in Vegas, which I cannot wait to see that. That is going to be fun. Definitely the Brahmas are going to beat the Orlando Guardians. And the way the Roughnecks played, Jesus Christ.
So basically, you're saying the same thing as Van then, right?
Yeah, I'm saying pretty much the same thing as the mayor.
Okay.
So I have to go take care of some business. The dogs are upstairs whining.
Okay.
So
we can end the show here, man.
You want Amanda to end the show? I'll see us.
See ya. Hey, so Amanda, thank you for popping on with us at the last minute because I almost thought that Dirty wasn't gonna come. So grateful to have you on.
I'm happy to be here, and don't forget everybody to come to the watch party. Seriously, on Thursday, it'll be fun. See Dirty, me, and Big Papa G.
I won't be watching Thursday with when I have with Van. So, and we might have a special guest coming on the show as well. Getting that together for Thursday, and grateful to have Cullen join me on the Rough 'Em Up podcast. As a matter of fact, Amanda, I have to get going, so because we got a podcast to do, and so that way we can have it for upcoming week, and that everybody can check it out. All right. So, for just a little while, Amanda, thank you so much. Mwah.
Thank you for having me.
It was grateful to meet you too. It was grateful to meet you too.
See ya.
All right. See you later, Amanda.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the X-Fan Show. All right. We'll catch you next on Thursday. Hey, those that can, make sure you tune in to the Smoking Guns podcast on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. Make sure you tune in to us on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, the B-Hawk Live Show, and Thursday we come back with the X-Fan on Thursday. All right, we got a great lineup coming up. Hey, make sure you follow us at X-Fan Legion on Twitter, okay? And then make sure that you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, so for just a little while, we'll catch you next week, or excuse me, Thursday. Jesus Christ. We'll catch you on Thursday for another edition of the X-Fan Show. So long.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I